Welcome to TxDOT PTN's eGrants DBE webinar. The purpose of this video tutorial is to demonstrate to PTN subrecipients how to fill out the DBE semi-annual report in eGrants. Let's begin. For this tutorial, I will use our eGrants test site, and I will log in as a subgrantee administrator. To fill out the DBE report, the role of subgrantee staff is able to complete the information. However, the DBE report must be reviewed and submitted by the subgrantee administrator by changing the status to in review. Once you log in, there are two ways you can find the DBE report. One is by going to My Tasks from the home page, clicking on Open Task. When the document has been made available to the subgrantees, you will see the report here under My Tasks. PTN headquarters will make that document available twice a year when you can begin submitting your report. For this tutorial, I will access the DBE report by using the Supplementals tab. Under the Supplementals tab, in Supplemental Type, you can select DBE Report 2016 and click Search. For this tutorial, we will use the second DBE report, Test DBE report on the page, which is currently in process, where the subgrantee has the ability to fill out the information. To view the sections of the DBE report that need to be completed, you can hover over Forms menu, and you will see DBE Part 1 and DBE Part 2. Let's go to Part 1. Notice that at the top of this page, there is a table that indicates the semi-annual reporting period, that first column, when the report is due to the PTC, that second column, and when the report is due to PTN headquarters from the PTC side. Remember that the amounts you report in this DBE report are only federal FTA grant funds received through TxDOT. Do not report any other types of funds that you may receive directly from FTA, any state funds, or other local funds. Also remember not to report any purchases of vehicles or purchases made from nonprofit entities. Throughout the entire report, you will see areas where you will report federal money awarded or spent on both DBE and non-DBE businesses. So you will report both. In Part 1, you will enter the total amount spent during this reporting period for services, supplies, materials, and construction or facility improvement activities. Column 2 on this section is labeled Total Spent. Enter the total amount spent by category during this reporting period. This is for, again, all DBE and non-DBE purchases. In column 3, labeled Spent on DBE, enter the amount spent on DBE businesses only during this reporting period. Note that the amount spent on DBE businesses, that third column, is a subset of the amount entered in the total spent. So in this example, $100 out of 1,000 were spent on DBE businesses. The totals for each column will add up by section, and then at the very end, they will add up as a grand total for both columns. Another thing to remember is that you must only count certified DBE businesses. You're able to verify if a DBE is certified by going to TxDOT's Diversity Management System, DMS website. And that link is TxDOT.cms.com. After you complete part 1, you may now either save or save and then go to the next part. I'll click on Save Next. In part 2, you will report new awards and commitments made during this reporting period in Section A. Here's an important note. The first cell to be filled out under the column Total Dollars to All Businesses includes the entire federal share of contracts, and that is inclusive of any associated subcontracts. The row is labeled prime contracts awarded. However, for this first cell, it includes subcontracts. Then you will continue across and fill out number of DBE businesses for that award. Next, total dollars to DBE businesses, which is 300. Total number of DBE businesses was 3. So that 300 was spent on 3 businesses. Now these DBE businesses happen to be race neutral. So you would report that under race neutral. Below that prime contracts line, you will see subcontracts. Here you would fill out the rest of the information for all your subcontracts awarded or committed this reporting period. In Section B, you will report the ethnicity and gender of those new commitments or contracts made during this reporting period. In this section, you will add all the names of those DBE businesses, enter their gender, ethnicity, amount, and the type of business. If you notice, the correlation between sections A and B is that this is all for those new awards or commitments made during this reporting period. If you notice, the $300 stated in Part A and those 3 businesses correlate to those 3 businesses listed in Part B, and the amounts add up to that $300. So it was $100 per DBE committed. Now in Section C and D, you will report payments, not new awards. New awards with Section A and B. C and D are related to payments made. Now, Section C is to report payments made on ongoing contracts during this reporting period. Section D is where you will report payments made to contracts that were completed this reporting period. So it's important to understand the differences between the sections. A and B are for new awards, not payments. Section C and D are for payments made for ongoing contracts and for completed contracts. So the same dollar amount cannot go in Section C and in Section D. And this is because a contract at any given time is either ongoing or completed. So when you enter the numbers, make sure it goes into the correct section. In Section D, that second column, the second fillable column, it's important to point out total dollar values of contracts completed for race-conscious or race-neutral contracts have to amount to the total awarded amount for that contract. For example, a contract was awarded, let's say, a year ago for $100,000. And this particular reporting period, that contract has been completed. Instead of only reporting the amount that was paid during this period, because the contract is completed, the federal government would like to know how much total was paid for that contract from the beginning. So let's say the $100,000 were for a race-neutral contract, you would put that $100,000 here under race-neutral. Before I go to the bottom of the page, another thing to notice is that in Section B, for ethnicity and gender of new commitments or awards, there is a link you can click on to access the DBE database, where you can verify if a DBE is certified and verify if what they're reporting, gender and ethnicity, is accurate. So this will take you to TxDOT's DMS site, the diversity management site that I mentioned earlier. So at the very bottom of this page, this statement is very important to answer. It states, I certify that the information and amounts reported above are true and correct, and that the listed DBEs have performed and received payment for the above work. You will answer yes or no. The report will not be accepted if this question is not answered. So this report has been pre-filled. At this time, you would click on Save Next. And the next step is to change the status. So you will hover over Status Changes, click on Apply Status for In Review. This will push the report over to the PTC so they can review your submitted report. Click on Apply Status. And here you have a chance to make a note, any note you would like to make about this report. And again, you are saying that by submitting this document, I certify that the information provided is true and correct. Click on Agree. And the report has been submitted to your PTC. If you happen to hover over the status changes again, you will see there's no available statuses because now it's in the PTC's mailbox. We go back to supplementals and check on that report once again. We use the second one, and you will notice that it's now in review. That's how we know it's now with the PTC. This concludes this video tutorial on completing the DBE semi-annual report in eGrants. Please contact the eGrants Help Desk if you have any questions. The eGrants Help Desk phone number is 512-486-5957. And the email is ptn-egranthelp@TxDOT.gov. Thank you for watching.